depressed, suicidal, or otherwise extremely downtrodden members of Reddit, what is your go-to quote, phrase, or particular memory in life that keeps you going?
Death is not an apology. None of those things. Mostly video games. Just remember you have a success rate of 100% for surviving all the bad days so far. I just start singing Touch of Grey by the Grateful Dead. The song feels so good, Chuck Mangione. No matter how you feel, get up, get dressed, show up, and never give up. Just keep swimming. I Like This, by Stephen Fry. It will be sunny one day. Here are some obvious things about the weather. It's real. You can't change it by wishing it away. If it's dark and rainy, it really is dark and rainy, and you can't alter it. It might be dark and rainy for 2 weeks in a row. But it will be sunny one day. It isn't under one's control when the sun comes out, but come out it will. One day. It really is the same with one's moods, I think. The wrong approach is to believe that they are illusions. Depression, anxiety, listlessness, these are real as the weather, and equally not under one's control. Not one's fault. But they will pass, really they will. In the same way that one really has to accept the weather, one has to accept how one feels about life sometimes. Today is a really crap day, is a perfectly realistic approach. It's all about finding a kind of mental umbrella. Hey ho, it's raining inside, it isn't my fault and there's nothing I can do about it, but sit it out. But the Sunday may well come out tomorrow, and when it does I shall take full advantage. Whenever a family member dies, my mom would cry as if she's having a heart attack. Sometimes at night, I could hear her cries and her loud breathing, and it scares the shit out of me, like I'm gonna lose her any second. I don't want my mom to cry like that, especially when it's PC of me. Way She Goes started as a joke quote from the Trailer Park Boys. But after using it so much it became kind of meditative. Just a deep breath and fucking way she goes, and it drives home that you can't change anything, might as well keep going. Don't let them know. I only keep going due to a failure to die, and I don't want a single person to suspect a thing before I successfully off myself. This too shall pass. I have this one memory of my boyfriend messing around and being goofy with me, poking at each other, tickling, small kisses all over my face, using these random nicknames that he's come up with. Everything he knows will make me smile even though I'll act like I hate it. I had a bad day, so he was just holding me and doing those things to cheer me up, and out of nowhere he told me he loved me, for the first time. We had the weird tension where we wanted to say it but didn't want to be the first to say it. And it just makes me so happy to think about it. Still here. 1. Just take it one day at a time. Alternatively. 2. There are still some fuckers that needed fucking over with. This too shall pass. No quotes, phrases or memories. I just keep having to get through. I think of my dog and my friends and I just feel a bit better. Keep buggering on. Sir Winston Churchill, a man who was no stranger to the black dog. It be like that sometimes. I don't want to die sad. We fill pre-existing forms, and when we fill them we change them and are changed. Reminds me of the value of experience. Seek it out, no matter the size or supposed significance. New food? Try it. Pretty girl? Talk to her. Nice day? Walk. New music? Play it. Old music? Play it. Experience will bring change. Seek it with the intent to make the world better for yourself and others. You are worthy, the world is bright, the future is hopeful. Make it so. Are you easily discouraged? Here's a man who Failed in business 31, defeated for the legislature 32, again failed in business 34, sweetheart died 35, had nervous breakdown 36, defeated in election 38, defeated for Congress 43, defeated for Congress 46, defeated for Congress 48, defeated for Senate 55, defeated for Vice President 56, defeated for Senate 58, elected President 60. That man was Abraham Lincoln. It's temporary. Literally everything is temporary, so make things count while it's there. A co-worker once told me, you have to cheer up yourself, nobody else will do it. It really stuck with me and helped me. No single moment is unbearable. I love this quote because it reminds me that no matter how horrible I feel, no matter what I'm going through, it's not unbearable. It only lasts a moment, and then another moment, and then another. If I can just get through one moment at a time, I'll be okay. I mostly use this when I'm getting a tattoo. No matter how bad the pain is, I can withstand it for a moment, and then I get through another and another, one at a time. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Teddy Roosevelt. Fuck it. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promised to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. My mama always said, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. My 2 young daughters push me forward. Thinking of them, spoiling them and giving them my love. If you can't dazzle them with your brilliance, baffle them with your bullshit. They can fuck you over but they can't fuck you up. Wheat is wheat. At a time where the world made sure I felt completely worthless and I was certain I'd be better off dead, I couldn't help but think of all of the dreams I'd had for the future and how I'd ruined my chances at all of them, how my art, and every creation I'd ever poured myself into, was a waste. I remember thinking very clearly, what's the point? The next day I found that quote from Van Gogh. Wheat is wheat, even if it looks like grass to the townsfolk. It didn't cure me, but it helped. At the very least, I owe it to myself to stick around until I know for sure if I'm wheat or not, and just because I might not look or feel like wheat now doesn't mean I should give up. You are kind, you are smart, you are important. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, meaning when the situation becomes difficult, the strong will work harder to meet the challenge. Not a quote, but I just remind myself that everything ends. It might sound negative, but to me, it means that the panic, the sadness, the regret, the suicidal thoughts, they all end at some point. The things that were world-ending to me a few months ago are a non-issue for me now. It just takes time. You've got to keep moving. Bear Grylls for the win. Everyone and everything you love will either leave you, or die. When you're going through hell, just keep going. I remember my friend who took her life in high school remind myself of all the people her death touched, even if she hadn't known them. Then I start thinking about all the people around me and how they'd have to deal with it. Then I think about all the things she's missed since and tell myself I can make it. I'm drunk by noon, but that's okay, I'll be president someday. Reminds me that even if I'm not where I want to be right now, I still have time to change that. Plus it's kind of funny. I have been afforded the ability to travel a few times in recent years, which is mind-blowing for someone who grew up in poverty, and even more so considering how poor my parents were starting out, and I just think about the beautiful places I've been and how many more beautiful places there are left to see. Almost dead yesterday, maybe dead tomorrow, but alive, gloriously alive, today. If no other reason, do it out of spite. I'm definitely the kind of person to do things I usually wouldn't / not entirely capable of purely out of spite. If someone said I don't normally eat as much as everyone, so they don't have to order as much food, suddenly my appetite is unquenchable. If something inside me tries to convince me that I shouldn't be alive, I'll simply keep living to spite that feeling. TL, Doctor, live to spite God. It can't rain all the time. My best friend, the girl I love the most in this world. She's not doing really well either. Seeing her try, getting better bit by bit, smile and actually enjoying moments gives me enough strength to pull through. The way she tries to get me to enjoy every day like I should even when hers is going shit is just amazing. I wish I could tell her how I really feel about her. I still have letters to write. Tomorrow will be better, and today you just have to stay alive, and today is a lot better than the day I first started needing to say it. So to me it is true.